From here, the Europeans come with trade items. So then the Pilgrims introduced to Champlain and to Hudson, and the Europeans brought the missionaries. Okay, so that's where our Jesuits come in. Their missions were in Ontario, and they befriended the Huron-Algonquin tribes, and they were enemies of the Iroquois, which, you know, the Mohawks are part of the Iroquois Confederacy. So when the Mohawks left this village to take captives and to take fur for trading, there were Isaac Jogues and Rene Goupil in the middle of that, and that's how they got captured and brought here. So this first introduces the Pilgrim to the Jesuit missions in Canada, and from there we go into the capture and martyrdoms of our three Jesuits. The significant thing about Isaac Jogues is when you see statues of him, he has fingers missing. You can always tell it's Isaac Jogues, because that was a common torture, was to mutilate the hands. It makes him defenseless. But for him as a priest, then he couldn't hold the consecrated hosts. So when he went back to Europe, the Pope gave him special dispensation. So Rene Goupil's death for making the sign of the cross was really significant, because they could understand ritual and symbols as powerful. So they saw power in the cross, but they misunderstood it and thought it was something evil. So Rene was killed. You can walk into the ravine. There's big placards that you read the whole story of the murder of Rene Goupil. She was born to the chief of this village and an Algonquin woman who had been captured from Canada and brought here. The chief, you know, married her. They had 2 children, and when smallpox came through the village, they died. Cattery's eyes were infected. She almost went totally blind, and they left this village. She was adopted by her father's uncle. So this village, she lived here, she was born here, lived here about 4 or 5 years. They moved on until the French came through. Remember, the French were enemies with the Iroquois, and they burned all the villages in the valley. So by the time she was 10, she had lost her vision, her health, her family, her home, everything. And that pretty much ended the war, at least temporarily. The Mohawks surrendered, bring the Black Robes back, and they moved their village to the north bank of the Mohawk River. And that's where the Cattery Shrine is, the National Cattery Shrine. So that's where she was baptized. So this portion tells about how she met the Jesuits and was very attracted to them. I think she was a truth seeker. And for all the voices around her, you know, the shamans, the clan mothers, there were Protestant missionaries coming through. She recognized something in the Black Robes and in the sacraments. Because the first thing that the captives would endure would be to run a gauntlet into the village. So everyone in the tribe, the women, children, everybody would form 2 single lines up the hill, and the captives would run in between them, and that while they were beaten, you know, and this was to test them, you know, who's going to be the courageous ones. So that's the hill of torture. And then they came into the village and endured just a lot, you know, burning and beating and all this awful stuff. So the village was small. There were longhouses in here. There were 3 clans who lived here: the bear, the wolf, and the turtle. It was the Wolf clan who eventually took Isaac Jogues in, and the clan mother there was very good to him, protected him. He loved her. He said that, I found grace in her eyes. The Bear clan were the ones who said when he came as a peace ambassador, we still don't trust him. They're the ones who killed him. The new monument of Saint Cattery, on one side of it is her face with all the scarring from the smallpox that she had when she was a little girl here, and then the other side is her beatific vision. So there's 2 sides to this.